sun's just starting to break over here a little bit. We're going out into the edge of a field. There's one long tree that kind of sits in this corner of a field. It's got some native browse in it. We're going to probably throw a little corn out in the same area, a few acorns. The deer are working up and down around this fence. And we've got kind of an old school setup here. There's some old 2x4s and a boat seat and a ladder stand up there that we'll use as a camera stand. Great cover. Wind's going to be good for us. We're going to see a lot of deer. This is, we may not see them all in range, but we're going to see a lot of deer. They just kind of work through this whole area along this ridge as the morning goes. And it's a target of opportunity hunt. Lots of bucks in this area, there always is, and so we're just going to work our way out there, get set up, talk about all the gear and equipment that we use when we bow hunt, why we like to use it, and how we use it, and maybe we'll even get lucky and get drawn on one. Good right there. I know I can hear you. Spent a lot of time talking about gear and bow hunting stuff during today's show, and as we weave through all this, hopefully over the next couple of days we'll be able to get a shot on a good buck here. It kind of ties it all together. But what an awesome hunt this morning. I mean, saw a lot of deer. Actually came close to getting it done a couple times this morning, and just didn't get the right shot or that I was comfortable with, or when I'd have a shot, Jeff couldn't see the deer. When he could see the deer, sometimes I couldn't see the deer. So plenty of time ahead. We'll continue this bow hunt. That was fun. Awesome day.
When we return, we'll join Wade back up in that same stand for an afternoon hunt. And later, we'll dive deeper into the specific bow hunting gear he uses. Stay tuned. Wade is heading back to the same tree stand from this morning, where he had a few chances, but the deer didn't want to cooperate. With the conditions this afternoon, he's hoping the deer and him can get on the same page.
So this is the field we set up in this morning. Most all the deer, I'd say 80% of the deer left going kind of back that way. So we're going to go in along this 2-track that goes to that tallest tree right over there. That's where our stand is. And the plan or the hope is, as the sun sets back this way, they'll come back out into that field in the same general area. We know there's going to be deer coming from every direction, but that's going to be where we're setting up at, and that's where we hope those ones we saw bedded down at. We're not going to bust anything coming in this direction, and that's always something to keep in mind, is how you're getting in and out of your stand, is, you know, so you're not bumping those deer that you're hoping are going to come by you. And I think this is about as good, easy, clean way to get into this stand. That's all right, right now. Where is it? I think that's all right there, isn't it? So. Can you see him there? He is smoked. He is smoked right there. What a cool hunt. You know, this morning was phenomenal. We got in here and we saw a lot of deer. We saw a lot of deer tonight, and moving around and covering lots of ground. And it's just a matter of getting the right angle, getting everything to come into play for you. And that certainly did right there. I mean, that's a really nice Central Texas 8-point wide, cool times chocolate antlers. He's pushing everything else around, and we made a great shot on him. This is the latest generation Garmin Xero here, and you've got all kinds of extra mechanical adjustments. Everything is menu driven. I mean, it's so easy to set this up. The evolution has just been amazing to this technology as it's evolved since our first ones. And you know, the first one was mind-blowing to me, and now to sit here, you know, and that deer was out there, I didn't have to guess. I mean, there's nothing out there for me to, you know, a lot of guys will throw rocks out on the ground or whatever, but you know, here, I mean, when that deer finally got out there and gave me a broadside shot, I mean, we saw that deer this morning, the same buck. And when he finally got out there and he got turned, I had, you know, ultimate confidence, because I had set this bow side up for everything. And I mean, I didn't even know how far the shot was. I knew he was in range for me, but by using everything that's built into this and the way it's set up for my particular bow and tuned to my particular bow, this bow's shooting right at 290 feet with the arrow set up that I have. I mean, all I had to do was range the deer, know that I was hitting the deer exactly where I wanted to, let it off, it dropped the pin, and the end result was perfect. I actually, after it dropped the pin, I you know, a lot of times I tend to aim a little bit lower on the deer. I went up and really settled in on that one because I knew it was a little bit longer shot than what I like to normally take. But I mean, the result, you saw it. I mean, we'll recover that deer here in just a second.
After the break, we'll recover Wade's deer and look at how Wade set up his Garmin Xero A1i Pro bow sight for this hunt. Wade just put an arrow into an 8-point buck in Central Texas using his Garmin Xero A1i Pro bow sight. So let's join him in his shop to see how he set up his Xero for the hunt.
The Garmin Xero A1i Pro, it's a menu-driven sight that's really pretty impressive and allows for easy setup. I've got it set up here on my Blackout MD32 bow from Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's. As you see here, you know, it's just very easy to read the different menus and the different options that you have as you go through it. You want to shoot it with fixed pins, you can easily do that. If you want to use the ranging aspect of it when you're hunting, it's very easy to be able to go use and range everything that you're looking at and set it up. And when it comes to the intuitiveness of setting up the sight itself, it's not very difficult to be able to do. You can walk through all the menus while you're out when you first get everything mounted,
and be able to calibrate your sight to the specific bow that you're shooting, the speed that your bow is shooting, and be able to set up a variety of profiles such as mechanical, fixed blades, 125 grain broadhead versus 100 grain, and you can calibrate it all with this particular sight, and you don't have to do anything except menu drive your way through the different setups. So what you're looking at when you are in the field with the Xero, and it's kind of hard to be able to film and truly show it, you've got a circle. And when that red dot and that circle are all lined up and you've spent the time to calibrate it, you are basically ensuring that your form is the same every time. And that's one of the biggest challenges I think that an archer has in a hunting situation. When the emotions get high, can you hit your anchor points? Can you repeat the same thing over and over? And that's difficult to do. But with the Xero sight, in my opinion, if you are not lined up in that circle on the red dot, your form is off. You didn't hit your anchor point. There's a lot of things that are going on there that could impact your success or failure. So it's really kind of intuitively making you a better shot. And when you get that circle in there and you're ranging that target and everything is lined up and you let it off, you've got supreme confidence when you set everything up. But that arrow's going where you're aiming. Now, the one thing that it cannot do, it cannot control buck fever. It cannot control your emotions. It can't control the heartbeat. It can't control you slapping the trigger. It's just going to give you a finite aiming point if you spent the time to practice and set it all up, and it will make you a better shot on that aspect. But buck fever, they haven't found a way to be able to control that with any piece of electronics that I know of. If you'd like to learn more about the Garmin A1i Pro setup that we're using right here, it's pretty simple. Go to the Garmin website, look up the Xero site. You're going to find a lot of good information on one that specifically fits for you, how to work it, how to use it, and detailed information. And I think for a lot of guys out there, it's going to help make you a better hunter. But like I said, still not going to control buck fever for you.
Let's join Wade back in the field.
I'm going to take the track up here a little bit. The shot just felt perfect to me. I'm thinking that deer's already dead over there, so we're going to ease in there 100 yards and kind of follow the blood trail. I expect we're going to walk right up on that deer. This is the arrow. That's what you want to see there. I mean, that sucker is covered in blood, top to bottom right there. Total pass through. That's what you're looking for in those types of situations right there. We're shooting that Blackout MX6 micro diameter arrow, and I mean, it flies, and it flies fast out of this. Wow. I think I see his belly. Right there, I mean, that's 85 to 100 yards right there. That's about what I thought. I mean, he got hammered when we hit him. Oh yeah. Look at this guy right here. What a great 8-point. That's gonna be the exit right there. What a great 8-point right there. I love that. That is so cool. Gosh, there's nothing more fun and gratifying than making a good shot that kind of, I don't know, it validates all the practice. And man, bad things happen in bow hunting at times. I mean, you can practice and practice. I mean, I've hit them in places that just amaze me how fast they die, and I've hit them in places where it didn't. This one here was just a total pass through. He was running dead from the moment that arrow hit him. And that's just, I mean, to me, it's just so gratifying. When you pay attention to all the equipment in bow hunting, and there's different levels of budgets and different levels of gear that make sense for everybody, it really kind of helps pay out when you can match it all up and make it all work. And whether you've got the highest technological advancements in bow hunting or you're buying a package bow, you practice, you prepare for that moment, you stay within the realm and the capabilities of the equipment and yourself, and you'll have moments like these that are just phenomenal, that fill the freezer, make good memories and stories for everybody, and you go away satisfied. And this is one of those moments for sure.
When we return, we'll wrap up the episode by diving into all the gear Wade has in his backpack whenever he hits the woods in search of a whitetail.
What a great hunt that was. You know, there's something about Central Texas for me, opening weekend, climbing up in an oak tree and watching all the deer. Generally, they're in huge bachelor groups, and it's always fun to hunt the Wendlandt Ranch when we get together and do that. And now we're going to take a second break down everything that's in my backpack. And as you can see, I've recently just kind of emptied it out for the benefit of everybody, and you can tell a lot of this stuff's pretty well used, and that I use it a lot in the field. These two products right here are they're brand new. I haven't even taken those out because you can see them up on the tree that we're hunting in, and they're going to be the arms that we hang a lot of our gear off of. I'm a big believer in being able to hang a lot of my gear, having it easily accessible. I think it makes for silent movement a lot of times when I'm not already holding my bow to grab it and pick it up. I always have a variety of flashlights with me in different situations. This is a bigger one that I'll use for tracking or when I need to light other things up. These are the headlamps that I like to put on my hats when I'm coming to and from a stand. I think it's very important to be able to have those when I'm fumbling around in the blind trying to get in and out. Knives, obviously, for field dressing. Little clippers. I think clippers are really important to be able to, whether I'm cutting out my tags, the dates and the times that I've harvested something, or trimming shooting lanes when I'm up there, building little quick blinds. I mean, those are very important. A spare release. I have forgotten my release a few times in my life, and so I keep one of those just stuck in my backpack at all times. A GPS. I really rely on a GPS a lot. I hunt a lot of places that I don't know. I've only been there maybe one time before. I'll download maps to be able to study the topography, be able to navigate to and from. But it's really important in a tracking situation to be able to mark last blood, first blood, look at trails when we've been tracking deer, whether we've called in tracking dogs or we're just tracking them on hand and foot looking for a sign of our own. I mean, I'm just a huge believer in a handheld GPS and all the data that I can get out of it. Binoculars, I mean, goes without saying. They're always going to be a pair either on my neck, in my backpack. I actually use, as you can see here, zip ties to make little loops in here that I will use to hang off of tree limbs or off of the little attachments that I've got right here to hang my binoculars for ease of grabbing them. That really makes it easy to pick them up. Same situation goes on my tree arms when I'm out there, and you'll see as you look down here, I've got more zip ties. A lot of times I'll zip tie my backpack into a tripod, into the tree stand that I'm sitting on. Just helps keep it more secure. And I use zip ties and tape a lot of times to be able to fill out tags when I'm coming and going in different situations. I'll use zip ties to zip tie brush to where I'm at, zip tie camo tarps, a lot of different things. I'm a big believer in zip ties. They're my duct tape in a deer blind. Pins. I mean, a lot of people don't realize the importance in a pin while in their backpack, but when you're calling in and when you've harvested one and they give you a confirmation number, or you're filling out a tag where you put the name of the ranch, the county that you're in, any type of data. I mean, I usually have a couple of them with me. I always have a spare strap for my harness just in case I forget one. I've got a harness sitting here behind me on a block. I mean, a lot of times if I know I'm hunting in a tree stand, that's going to be inside my backpack or already on me when I'm coming and going from a stand. Easy to carry either direction when you're coming and going. And it looks like I have managed to not lose any gloves this past season. And actually, I've got 3 pairs in there, so I'm doing pretty good. I always have a lot of gloves inside my backpack with me for different hunting situations, and I'm actually pretty proud that I haven't lost any, honestly, this year. But that's just a quick glance at what goes in my backpack. And there's various things that I take in and out at other times. It could be a hunter safety orange when I'm hunting in a place where I need it. It could be snacks, it could be water, it could be ammo. There's lots of different things that we may be carrying at various times. But these are the basics that live in here. And as you can tell, some of them are pretty dirty, pretty warm, and I've used them for a couple years in different hunting situations.
So that'll do it for this episode of the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. We'll see you next time.